Sunrise, French babe, new face, let go. Morning track with Jason C, set the tone. Alarm hit, I'm up, no snooze, no slack, lace tight, mic on head, we run that track. Coffee in the system, mind sharp, talk slick.
What's going on, everybody? Good morning.
I don't pick. Type stats in the chat, watch it pop up live. Player card on screen, yeah, the numbers arrive. Just when tweets say boom, instant replay, no guesswork, no rumors that the data say. Quick lab energy, but it tastes real.
But let's switch it over here. What's going on, everybody? Hope everybody's having a great Saturday morning. I woke up feeling a little under the weather. I think I need some coffee or something. Drinking this root beer, which is probably what I don't need this morning. But anyway, what the Yankees needed yesterday was for their young guys to go off, and that's exactly what they did. So before we get into that, let me break down the show. We're just going to do a quick recap of yesterday's game versus the Twins. We'll talk about Spencer Jones, Carlos Lagrange, and then we'll break down, we'll preview to today's game versus the Blue Jays. So Yankees versus Twins, right? They obviously freaking had a great game. All the young guys, Spencer Jones, George Lombard Jr., Lagrange, Dominguez, they all showed out, all had great games. Let me put this over here. I'll take this. All right. Yeah, 17-5, another blowout. Again, it's spring training, so these things happen, especially towards the later part of the games. You start seeing kind of like the bottom feeders. You see the bottom, right, of the depth chart. They put them out to pitch late in the game, except for the Yankees though, because they had Lagrange out there. Probably towards like the 7th, I think, if I'm not mistaken. He pitched a few innings. We'll get into that in a second. But yeah, 17-5, 13 hits, 4 for 17 with runners in scoring position, 21 left on base. Don't look too much into it. It's only spring training. All right. Offensively, Ben Rice 1 for 3. Good. Jason Dominguez 3 for 4, 3 RBIs and a strikeout. I mean, he's looking good, man. It's unfortunate that most likely is looking like he might be starting in AAA, but my goodness, man. I think that Dominguez and Spencer Jones are making it tough for the Yankees right now. They are making it tough. The problem is that neither of them, well, Dominguez can hit for them. Dominguez is a righty. He's a switch hitter, but he's not good at the right side of the plate. And the Yankees need a righty badly right now. So who else we got in there? The Young 1 for 2. He hit a home run, I believe. Spencer Jones, obviously. All right. Duke Ellis hit a home run too. Remember that guy? And that's the Twins. We'll move past that. All right, pitching. Luis Hill had to start. He did not have his best stuff, I would say. And in only 2 1/3 innings, he only had 1 strikeout, which is it kind of worries me a little bit. Only 1 strikeout. 1 walk, 2 hits, 1 earned run. Obviously, Carlos Lagrange, which we're going to get into in a second here. He gave us 3 innings, only 1 hit, no walks. That's the big key right there. No walks, 4 strikeouts. And I'm going to save it, what I have to say about him for a second. And who else are there? Oswaldo Cabrera, Brent Hedrick. All right, keep moving on. Our play of the game, Jason Dominguez, and he deserved it for sure. 3 for 4, 1 home run, 3 RBIs. Anyway, right, let's get into Spencer Jones. Spencer Jones hit his 3rd home run of the spring, and he looks good. I'm not gonna lie, he looks good, especially yesterday. He didn't have any strikeouts. Right now, I think he's like what is he? He's like 4 for 8 on spring training. 4 for 8 3 for 8, 3 home runs, 2 walks or something like that. But the thing is too, look, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer at the same time, right? And I understand the fans getting really super excited about Spencer Jones, as they should be, because I am too. But at the same time, you gotta understand, like, okay, that home run he hit was off of not the best pitching that they have, right? So you gotta look at it at that point. But don't get me wrong, a home run's a home run, and good for Spencer Jones, and he needs it, man. He needs to start showing that he can perform and that he's improved his swing and miss, right? But again, man, we hit it off of Brito or some guy that we never heard of. Really, like, you got to look at that too sometimes. And I'm not trying to knock Spencer Jones. I'm really not. But I'm trying to, just be realistic. Be realistic. So hopefully they keep him around long enough in spring because, well, maybe not this year because the WBC, because a lot of pitchers are going to be at WBC and a lot of players. But hopefully if he sticks around long enough, when they start sending a lot of these guys back down to minor league camp, and you start seeing more big league pitching, hopefully he can keep that same momentum. Then I could be like, okay, yeah, he's doing this off of big leaguers, like legit pitchers. But right now, don't get me wrong, like it's great to see. But he always goes off in spring. He went off last spring as well. So I got to see it versus better competition is what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. But at the same time, man, he's an exciting player, and he's a prospect that's so polarizing for the Yankees, obviously because of his size, right, and the comps that we've put upon him. People call him just. I put a highlight clip of the home run yesterday, and in the comments, the first comment I got was lefty Aaron Judge, and I'm like, man, we've been seeing that for quite some time now. So the comps are there. He's obviously a first round draft pick. So there's a lot of pressure and a lot of expectation for Spencer Jones. So yeah, he's a polarizing guy. Spencer Jones is one of the prospects that for quite some time now has split the fan base in two, right? You got half the fan base saying he's not ready or trade him, get something for him, and half the fan base is like, are you crazy? He's the next Judge. But that's a good thing, right? That's a good thing. Hopefully that he can make his MLB debut this year, and that'll be great. But I mean, the person who really, really was like shocked me yesterday is Carlos Lagrange. I mean, he didn't shock me because I already know he could hit triple digits, right? But he looked special yesterday, like different. I mean, I don't have enough experience watching this dude pitch, right? But from what I've seen so far this spring, from his first appearance to now, to the appearance he had yesterday, man, he was on one yesterday. He was just dotting 102 plus consecutively over and over. His changeup is like 90 miles an hour. Like he is special, right? And yesterday we saw what we've been asking for, right? Can he harness that? Can he harness that command and really dial it in, and stay in the zone? And he's done that. Look, when you throw in 102 plus, you could just put it right down the middle. I mean, eventually, I guess big league hitters, they'll adjust. But yesterday, man, he was just blowing it by him. 102 plus on the regular, and then just switching it up, with a freaking his curveball didn't look too great. He kept hanging him, but at least he was hanging him and missing high with the curveball. Like he's just missing. So you didn't get any like damage done on that. But man, when you see a breaking pitch, and he got like 3 levels of speeds, right? He's like in the 80s, in the 90s, and in the hundreds. Man, he's a force to be reckoned with. This is somebody who needs to be. And, I'm starting to agree with some of you guys. I know I was doubting it, but just the talent alone, it's like he needs to be in the big leagues, man. You don't let talent like that go to waste. You're throwing 102 plus. I get it. That would be a big jump for him to make the major league club. But that talent is that special. Sometimes when you have somebody that talented, you just bring them up here and let them learn over here. Where's the best place to learn is probably up here anyway with Matt Blake to really, really dial him in and let him go through his growing pains early, especially with pitchers, man. Because here's the thing with pitchers Pitchers, man, they only have so many bullets in the clip. And when I say that, I mean they only got so many throws in that arm. So, and I like, knock on wood, right? I'm not saying that, but he's throwing very hard. Like, let's get him. You know what? Let's get him up here, and just even if he's just there and he's not pitching much, let's get him up here and let him learn. And look, I've changed my stance obviously because I was just saying a couple days ago he's not ready because he was giving up a lot of walks. But man, when you're throwing 102 like that on the regular, like the dude is he's unreal almost. And I get there's a lot of guys that can hit triple digits these days, man. But the Yankees don't have a lot of guys like that. This is a guy, man, that he could be a force to be reckoned with. He definitely could. Let me say what's up to the chat, man. My bad, guys. I've been neglecting the chat. Oh, man, Ace is in the building. What's up, Ace? Slow burner, top of the morning. Good morning. Finally get to see Cease in the Jays uni today. Yeah. I thought it was Barrios pitching. Chef, what's up, Chef? What you cooking up this morning? Good to see you too. Bobby says, just hope he doesn't injure himself throwing that much heat. I agree with you, man. But when he does it though, it don't look like he's like giving super max effort either. He's a big dude, remember? So it's probably coming natural. But eventually, man, when you throw, like throwing, period. Throwing is an unnatural movement. Like your arm is gonna deteriorate. That's what I'm saying. Like you only got so much, so much rounds in the magazine, so to speak. So I think I think I'm joining the camp, man. I was against him making the MLB roster because I was saying that he's not ready. But who cares, right? Like when you're throwing 102 plus consecutively like that, my goodness, man, that's electric. That's electric stuff. Yeah, I want to see more. That's what I'm saying. I want to see more. I don't want them to send him to spring camp and then it's gone. Like I want to see more of that. So why not? That's what I say. Why not? Jacob, what's up, Jacob? Good morning. Slow Burner says we have a split squad. We also play the Phillies. Oh, you talking about the Blue Jays? Yeah. We'll get into okay, let me put this away. Yeah, we'll get into the Yankees versus Blue Jays preview in a second. I got a couple trivia questions. I think like a few of them might be Blue Jay questions too. And we'll knock that out. But let me say what's up to the chat real quick. NFE's in the building. What's up, NFE? Yeah. All right. Big Lou's in the building. But yeah, so I'm going to just go ahead and, you know what? Let's do the this and that. No, we'll do the trivia first, and then we'll do this or that because I got a couple good ones there. And then we'll break down the Yankees versus Blue Jays, and we'll chop it up. So let me go over here. My bad. I got to get myself organized real quick. All right. So remember, multiple choice question. Just put A, B, C, or D in the chat to answer and register your vote. Yeah, and that's it. You guys know how to play it already. Let's start with the first question.
Trivia time. Who hit 2 grand slams in the same inning, 1999? Is it A, Alex Rodriguez, B, Fernando Tatis Sr., C, Manny Ramirez, D, Albert Pujols?
Remember, just put A, B, C, or D in the chat to lock in your answer. I know this one. I didn't look at the questions, the answers and stuff. Maybe I glanced at it. I'm not gonna lie, but I know this one specifically because his son is in the league, and I remember watching this on TV one day. Yep, Fernando Tatis Sr., Tatis's dad. He hit 2 of them in one inning, 2 grand slams, and they were both off of Chan Ho Park. Remember Chan Ho Park? Yeah, guys, you got to be old school for that. I used to like Chan Ho Park. All right, next question.
Trivia time. Who hit the famous 3-run HR bat flipped in 2015 ALDS Game 5 for Toronto? Is it A. Jose Bautista,
this one.
B. Edwin Encarnacion,
Come on,
C.
slow burner, where you
Josh
at?
Donaldson,
I made
D.
sure to add
Troy
this just for you.
Tulowitzki.
Yeah, this is an easy one too. Now the Blue Jays fans are out of here. I added Blue Jay questions just for slow burner, and he's not here no more. He said he's walking his dog. Yeah, it's Jose Bautista. My bad, slow burner. All right. Where am I? Let's go to the next one.
Trivia time. Which Yankee hit the go-ahead HR off Andrew Miller in 2017 ALDS Game 3? Is it A. Aaron Judge, B. Greg Bird, C. Didi Gregorius, D. Gary Sanchez?
Which Yankee hit the go-ahead home run off of Andrew Miller in 2017 ALDS Game 3? Yeah, I think I agree with you guys. I remember it's Greg Bird. Of all people, right? Of all people, that was his greatest moment as a Yankee. It's not keeping score? All right, man, my bad. I'll look at it later. See why it's not doing that. You're right, it's not keeping score. I didn't even notice that. Alright. It's all good. No prizes anyway. Let me alright, I'm gonna put that away. Let's go ahead back to the let me see something real quick. We're gonna do the this or that. This or that is I'm gonna ask you a question and you choose one or the other. All right, let me just fix something real quick here. Okay. Yeah, everything's looking good. Okay. You know what? Let's go to this. Hopefully it keeps the scores on this one, though. Slow Burner says they have a mural of Jose bat flip here in Toronto. They should have a mural of when he got punched in the face, too. Slow Burner. That's what they should have a mural of. All right, let's switch to this one right here. All right, this or that. Is Spencer Jones MLB ready? Type 1 in the chat for yes. Type 2 in the chat for no. Is Spencer Jones MLB ready? I'm gonna say yes, but I switch my opinion on that every day. Yeah, it's not registering. I don't know why. That's weird. It's not registering. Hold on, let me try to fix this real quick. Let me close this up. We'll try it again. Let me restart this thing. Okay. What in the world? This thing ain't trying to work on me. Of course. Of course, it don't want to work today. Let me restart it. I probably should have checked it before, right? Okay. Well, let's try it one more time. We'll try it one more time, one more again. If not, then I'll just save it for tonight when I come on and figure out why it's not working. Let's try it one more time. Is Spencer Jones MLB ready? Let me see. No, it's not working. What the fuck? I don't understand it. I didn't change anything. Now it's gonna drive me crazy. I'm gonna be, yeah, I know, NFE. I'm gonna be messing with this all day now. It's all right. We'll just go to the game. Let's just go to the Yankees versus Blue Jays preview. All right. So the lineups are out. This is your Yankees lineup right now. Leading off, Trent Grisham. You know, they love him at the leadoff spot. Aaron Judge batting second. So I would assume that this might be Aaron Judge's last game with the team right now. Because he's got to report to the WBC team here shortly. I'd say within the next day or two, he should be reporting to them. So this might be the last time we see him in a Yankee jersey for about a month, right? Until the season starts. So you got Jazz Chisholm Jr. batting third, Paul Goldschmidt batting cleanup, Austin Wells, Ahmed Rosario batting playing third. Ryan McMahon DH. Okay, a little curveball there. Ryan McMahon DH. Jose Caballero at short. Left field is Spencer Jones at left field. Okay, interesting, right? The way they're doing this right now. And maybe that's a sign of things to come. Spencer Jones at left field. And then you got Paul Blackburn getting the start. So let me know what you guys think about this lineup here. Interesting, the way they did it. They got Ahmed Rosario playing third and McMahon DHing. Maybe they're trying to get him more reps. I mean, we already know McMahon can field his position. Maybe they're trying to give Rosario more reps. Something. So let me know what you guys think about the lineup. Okay. Let me see this here. All right. Okay, so we got that there. Let's take a look at the Blue Jays lineup. I'm trying to find the Blue Jays lineup here. Hold on. All right. My bad, guys. I'm unorganized this morning. Unorganized. There we go. Okay. Take a look at this. Obviously, we got Berrios versus Paul Blackburn, and we'll look at their history last year versus each team. Okay, so this is the lineup for the Blue Jays. They got Leo Jimenez batting first. He has no plate appearances versus Paul Blackburn. Addison Barger, Davis Schneider, Eloy Jimenez. He's 3 for 10 versus Paul Blackburn. 4 strikeouts and 2 RBIs. Miles Straw is 0 for 10 versus him, and so on and so on. So those are the big names, I would say, that are in the lineup. Obviously, no Vladdy. It's funny how they not, when they played us, right, they haven't really put out a ton of their big leaguers for whatever reason, right? Maybe they don't want to show their hand. They don't want to show the Yankees, they're big leaguers, their stars. But unlike the Yankees, right, if you look at even though it's a split squad, it is a split squad, but they could have had more guys in the lineup here. And then versus Jose Berrios is pretty much the entire 2026 roster for the most part, right? With the exception of Spencer Jones, everybody here is a legit big leaguer at this point. And versus Jose Berrios, I say Aaron Judge has 38 at-bats, 14 hits. He's batting 368 versus him. So that's nice to see with 4 home runs. So maybe he'll go off today. Paul Goldschmidt 3 for 17. The numbers look good. Spencer Jones, see, this is a real test right here. I would say this is a good test for Spencer Jones. We've seen him crush minor league pitching this spring. This is a good test right here. Let's see how he does versus a seasoned vet and Barrios. Barrios is a seasoned vet, you know. Say what you want about him. He's legit. He's a big leaguer. So it's a good test for Spencer Jones. I'm curious to see what he does um, versus this dude. And I'm sure the Yankees do too. That's why they have him in left and they have him in the lineup today. They probably like, okay, let's see what he can do versus this guy now. Now, if he goes out there and strikes out 4 times, it's not good, right? But if he goes and produces, and it's another bomb or something, then the Yankees got to really start considering, like, okay, maybe whatever changes he made to his stance or whatever it is, maybe this thing is legit and this dude's the real deal now. So interesting, definitely interesting. Let me put this away right here. Definitely interesting. Okay. All right. So this is okay, this is Jose Barrios. Oh, I got it on the wrong thing. This is both his starts last year versus the Yankees. So April 25th, he pitched 5 innings versus the Yankees, 4 strikeouts, gave up no earned runs, 2 walks. So that was a good start for him. And then again in July 2nd, he faced the Yankees in Toronto and gave up 6 earned runs, 3 strikeouts, and 0 walks. That's the game I remember that we were down already. So when you look at 6 earned runs, we were down like 9-0 at that game. And then we came back, fought back. I remember Aaron Judge had tied it at one point. And then, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. So that's Barrios versus the Yankees. And then we're going to look at Paul Blackburn versus Toronto. He only faced them once last year in 1 1/3 inning, gave up 4 earned runs. Wow. Okay, this was the playoffs. Gave up 4 earned runs, 0 strikeouts, 0 walks. That is not a good look. Not a good look. Obviously, this is a spring training game, and they got half the lineup is filled with minor leaguers, but we'll see. We will see. Oh, let me take that off. All right. So that's the preview right there, guys. I don't know what you guys think. What else is going on? What else is new? George Lombard Jr., man, he looked really good yesterday. Really good. He made a play yesterday. I should play it right now. Hold on. He made a play that I swear 99 out of 100 times Volpe would not make. Volpe doesn't make that throw. He doesn't have the arm to make that throw. So I'm trying to look for it here. Let me see if I could pull this up. Oh, shoot. Yeah, when I find it. Yeah, so he made a throw across his body, across the diamond to throw out the runner. I mean, incredible play. And obviously, I think he drove in 2 with an RBI single. He's looking good. He is definitely looking good. Over here. Fuqua, what's up, Fuqua? When is open mic? I'm going to probably do it today. I was going to do it last night, but I got caught up trying to do some stuff for my wife. And by the time I got on, I was like, it's not even worth it, man. Everybody's probably sleeping. So it was, yeah. The time difference is a lot. I'm 2 hours behind the East Coast time. So, you know, for me, it was early, but I was like, man, it's already almost midnight over there. I was like, I'm not going to go on. Why, are you going to join? Slow Burner's going to join. Fuqua, what's up, man? Dev Finch, what's up, Dev Finch? Hope you're doing well, man. Hope everything's good with you. Hope your health is good, which is most importantly. Yeah, man. So, yeah, look, for me personally, when it comes to baseball, I'm just waiting for WBC. Like, that's what I'm really waiting for. Because once all these people start reporting for their teams, spring training is gonna get a little boring, right? With the exception of watching guys like Spencer Jones and Lagrange, And watching guys like Garrett Cole, if he gets some innings during the spring, that's gonna be a big one. But besides that, it's not really much to look forward to in spring training. Here in a little bit. In a little bit, man, spring training is gonna be like in the back of our minds once WBC starts, because that's gonna be so polarizing, and it's gonna attract a lot of attention, a lot of eyeballs away from whatever's happening in spring training, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. I'll say that. Let me do something real quick. Okay, my bad. I had to text somebody there. John the Bigodad. Good morning, John. Good morning. Jay Snow says the left side of our infield is a huge problem. Why do you say that? Elaborate. Right now, I think the left side of the infield is better than it's been in 3-4 years. Right now, it's better than it's been in 3 to 4 years, and I'll tell you why, Jay Snow. Right. First of all, Volpe isn't starting the season, so he's going to be Caballero out there. I get it. He's most likely going to slide right back in his spot. But until that happens, I got in my mind Caballero's our shortstop starting the season for at least a month, maybe longer, right? It's going to be Cabby. And then Ryan McMahon, I think he's a better hitter than we give him credit for. Last year, he was one of the worst hitters. Look, I'm not saying he's going to go out there and hit 330, but Ryan McMahon is way better than any other third baseman we put out there in the last few years. Any other third baseman. Name me a better third baseman last year than Ryan McMahon, or the year before that. There is none, right? He's the best third baseman we've had in quite some time. And the same thing with shortstop. Caballero's going to be there. And look, I get it that we assume that they're going to give Volpe back his job. But if Caballero goes out there and he's balling, then it's going to be one of those things that it's going to be a wait and see, right? Because how do you take a guy out who's balling in his position? So to me, the left side of the infield to start the season, the left side of the infield is, and I'm saying to start the season, right, is good. It is actually really good, better than we've had it in 3-4 years. So I don't know. Let me know if you agree with that in the chat, man. Is the left side of the infield, right? Is the Yankees' left side of the infield better than it's been in recent history, right? I get it, man. Look, Jay Snow, I understand McMahon's K rate is bad. He's the worst in his position. I get it, but he's also better than Oswaldo Peraza and Yorbit Vivas. Okay, he's better than them, and his defense is way better, right? So we're already better at third base than we were last year. And then I'm thinking, right? And I'll pull my receipt. I'm here. I've said it since before spring training. Before, I'm expecting Ryan McMahon to have a decent season with the Yankees offensively. And by decent, I mean I think he's gonna go out there and bat 260 around there, hit you 25 bombs, and that's really good for him. Could I be wrong? Of course, I could be wrong, but that's what I think is gonna happen, right? I just see a different. When he was playing with Colorado, obviously, I'm not gonna say he was comfortable or anything like that, but there's nothing there, man. He showed me too last postseason that he can live up to the moment, right? But him and Judge were the best hitters in the postseason last year. You know that, right? So I think that this team is better than you think, man. I really do. Are they good enough to win the World Series? I don't think so. I think they're gonna have to make some trades or make some moves and do something crazy. But the way people are making it seem like this is a last place team, to me is like, I don't know where you get that from. But I do agree. It's 2 boom or bust. way too many Ks. Well, hey, hopefully more booms than busts, right? Hopefully more booms. I think this is a playoff team, right? This is a team that as constructed right now, will make the playoffs. But after that, it's like I don't think they could go far. But it's only freaking February 28th. We haven't even hit March, guys. The Yankees can make some moves. Other teams could, obviously also make some moves. But people goes down. Like everything, this is a dynamic situation, man. A baseball season is so dynamic. Like things happen, People obviously have breakout seasons. Some people, take a step back and people get hurt. So a team, even you could look at the Dodgers, right? Even though I'm not saying that, most likely to me they're the Powers, they're the favorite. But shit happens, man. Baseball, man. I've seen baseball, like last year, right? Before the season started last year, everybody had the Baltimore Orioles, all the beat writers, all these smart people, right? They had the Baltimore Orioles, a lot of them had them like first place in the division or at least second place, right? Nobody had the Blue Jays up there at all. And look what happened, right? So that's what I'm saying. It's a new season, guys. It is a new season. And I think me personally, my opinion, and I'm responding to Jason O, because Jason O, if you just joined it, he said that the left side of our infield is terrible. And to that, I say this is the best left side of the infield we've had in quite some time. So I'm trying to see the glass half full. Jason O says, do you ever think this team was good? No, I didn't. I'm going to keep it real. Look, I could tell that you knew here, man, because I said it last year 1,000 times too. Like this team they're not good enough. I mean, it's not a championship caliber team. Was I rooting for them? Of course, because I'm a Yankees fan. I'm a root for them, but I know that, man, it's going to take a miracle. I didn't think they were good enough. I thought even the Mariners were better than them last year, especially with the moves they made at the trade deadline. And the Mariners are good. Look, I have it, right? My power ranking is Dodgers, Mariners, Blue Jays, and then the Yankees are either 4, 5, or 6. They're down there somewhere, But the Yankees can the Yankees win? Look, I see it as percentages, right? Can this team win a World Series? Of course, anything can happen, right? It's not impossible. But the percentages are low, in my opinion. Maybe like 30% chance, 25% chance, unless they make a big move to really move the needle. So, John the Beagle says, too bad Jim doesn't call today's game. Yeah. Ernie Clement was the best hitter in the playoffs. No, I know. Yeah, he broke the record for most hits and stuff. We have the potential, but I saw the cracks in the walls. New season, though. Yeah, I agree with Woken. That's what I've been saying, man. But to say that this team, there's no way in hell that this team could win anything is crazy because that's not accurate, right? But obviously, we saw that they couldn't do it last year versus some of these teams, right? And that worries me. But I'm hoping that some of these guys take a step up. Right? I know people don't like McMahon, but I'm hoping that maybe like a full season with the Yankees changes something for him, right? It makes baseball meaningful again, and like he wants to play and do well. I'm sure he does want to. Of course, they always want to do well, but with Yankee fans and at Yankee Stadium, you want to do even better, right? So I'm thinking that he's gonna improve. Does that mean he's an all-star? I'm not saying that. I'm saying that he's going to have a decent season. He's going to improve. So, yeah, I think that we're better in a lot of areas than we were last year. But is it enough? That's why I say I don't think it's enough, though. We're better, though, in some areas, but it's not enough. So, hopefully they make some moves as the season progresses. Let me see. I'm gonna tell you why, man. Where's Slow Burner? Slow Burner says, how can you put the Mariners over the Jays? Come on, show some respect. I'm gonna tell you right now, man, because they got Brendan Donovan, and he's a difference maker. And last year they lost off of one swing by I was about to say Jerry Springer, George Springer. They lost off of one swing by George Springer to the Blue Jays, and I think that Brendan Donovan is the pitching we already know is there. Their pitching is solid, has been for years. Brendan Donovan, a full season of Josh Naylor, they're a force to be reckoned with. Don't sleep on the Mariners at all. And they got a taste because they were heartbroken last year. Teams like the Mariners and Blues, especially the Mariners, I would say, they got a taste of it and they're hungry, man. They're going to be playing with a chip on their shoulder this year. They're going to be playing with a chip on their shoulder. Don't sleep on them. Don't sleep. Wilkins says the Mariners choked hard. No, they lost off of one swing, though, man. They lost off of a 3-run home run by George Springer. They were right there, though. And they were in pain, man. I don't know if you heard the post-game interview after that game. I think they were talking to Kyle Riley, and you can hear people screaming in agony in the background. Like, they were heartbroken, man. And I'm telling you, look, I say this, right? Teams like that, you got to be very careful with. And I'm going to tell you why, right? In 1995, right, the Yankees, when we I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember this, but in 95, right, we went up against the Seattle Mariners in the first American League Division Series, and we were up 2-0. We had it, right? We were right there. We had it. And we ended up losing the next 3. We lost to Seattle in heartbreaking fashion in a great game. I think it was Edgar Martinez at the game-winning hit, whatever it was, right? And I'm telling you, that right there lit a freaking match under the Yankees because next year they came out with a freaking purpose, you know? And sometimes making it that close and losing could really spark something in a clubhouse, man, to where they come back the next year and you know, like a man on fire. And I think that the Blue Jays, man, they got a little bit of that. They got a little bit of that. And they got some scrappy dudes. You got to admit, Josh Naylor, he's a baller. They got Brendan Donovan. That's the guy we all wanted for so long. They got him. They improved in so many areas. They got Kyle Riley. Is he going to hit 60 home runs? Probably not. But he's still Kyle Riley. You know, he's still good. And then, you know, obviously the pitching with Wu and all these guys, they got a squad, dude. They are a force to be reckoned with. I'm calling it now. I've been saying it for quite some time. Now people are starting to catch on. I'm like, man, we forgot all about the Mariners. Don't sleep on them. That's all I'm gonna say. Well, because the Mariners been hungry forever. Yeah, but this time it's a little different. Wilkins says they, yeah, but all right. Let me ask you this, right? Because and this is something this controversial because I've argued with a lot of my fellow Yankee fans with this, because the Yankee fans, we in our minds, right, we try to say that we were the second best team in the American League last year, and I disagree. I think the Mariners, if we would have played the Mariners and not the Blue Jays, they would have beat us. You know what I mean? That's what I think last year. And I'm just being real, man. These teams were ready. You saw what the Yankees did. The offense shut down. The pitching shut down. These teams were playing some of the best games we've seen. Like, freaking going, like, real playoff baseball, going back and forth, back and forth. The Yankees didn't even make it competitive at all. And that's what pisses me off, that every year we make it to the playoffs and then we lose in non-competitive fashion, right? We lose in non-competitive fashion, like not even close type stuff, you know? Even that Mariners versus Tigers wild card, that was something else too. That was something else. They managed to get through Schoolboy in a wild card series in a freaking, what was it, like 18-inning game or something crazy like that. Like, last year was special, man. Last year's postseason was really good. Wilkins says it wasn't just one swing, but at the end of the day, they were up in Game 7. This is what I'm saying. Yeah, they had more opportunities, but I'm saying in Game 7 of the ALCS, they were up, and they were like 2 innings away or something like that in the 8th or whatever. They were so close to making it to World Series, and one swing really took it all away. So that's why I'm saying, man, you guys look too much into stuff. Well, if this would have happened, if they would, look, it all boils down to they came to Game 7, and at the end of the game, George Springer hit a freaking bomb and crushed their souls. Right? That's what it boils down to. Don't think about, well, in Game 3 they had the lead and they blew it, and it doesn't matter. That's what happened, you know. Marcus says Mariners had Griffey and Ichiro. They're the only team that hasn't touched the World Series. I would never believe in the Mariners. I know. I mean, I hear you, man. But they had Griffey and Ichiro. By the time Ichiro came, Griffey was already, I would say, not even in his prime no more. But I think that they're going to be good, man. I think don't sleep on the Mariners, man. They're going to be really good. What we got here? Okay. Stephen B says, Jason, I disagree. We had the Mariners number and the Yankees. No, I knew one of you were gonna say it. Thank you, Stephen B. I knew you was gonna say it because we did. We whooped their ass the whole season. But that team in the playoffs was a different team. We did not face that team in the playoffs. They went and got freaking Eugenio Suarez, even though he didn't really do much. They went and got Josh Naylor. And that team was just better than us in the postseason. They played better than the Blue Jays. I'm not gonna say they played better than they played better against the Blue Jays than even we did. We got disgraced versus the Blue Jays. They took them to Game 7, to the end of Game 7. That team, I'm not talking about the season, right? See, this is where people get things messed up. Even when we say like the Yankees are running it back, we're not saying it's the same roster they had in spring training last year or in the start. No, we're saying in the end of the season last year to the roster right now, it's pretty much the same. And the end of the season last year, the Mariners were a different team than we faced all season. They were a different team. They were a different team. They got on fire. You saw, remember, they were down with the Astros. They came out of nowhere, the Mariners. The Astros had that, it was the Astros and the Rangers that were kind of competing for the AOS, and the Mariners just completely took off, right? I would say they were better than the Yankees last year. Come October, right? The team that entered October, right, was better than the Yankees team that entered October. That's what I mean. So I disagree with you, Stephen B. Don't think, look, regular season, yeah, it matters and stuff. Of course it matters. But the team, like I said, it's a dynamic situation. And the same thing right now, the team that the Yankees have right now won't be the same team that's there at the end of the season. And some teams, they catch fire and they catch magic. And the Mariners has some magic. Oh my goodness. You know why? You make me want to pull up the Mariners roster. I know it's not a Mariners show, man, but yeah, sleeping. I'm just saying, put some respect on their name. Put some respect on their name, for real. Stephen B says, I think we use Oswaldo's injury to motivate them to beat them and naturalize. I don't know what you're talking about, man. That Oswaldo's injury happened in the beginning of the season. It has nothing to do with whether the Yankees were good or bad. He's a freaking utility player. He wasn't going to get much burn anyway. Maybe at third. Look, I love Oswaldo. I'm gonna be honest. I love Oswaldo. He is not. I mean, how do I say this without freaking? I love Oswaldo, but for you guys who think that Oswaldo would have made a huge difference on the Yankees if he wasn't hurt, you guys are bugging, man. Look, he's not a freak. He's a good player. He helps the team and everything. Obviously, the energy is there, but he is not a needle mover. He is not going to change. It's not like, oh my God, Oswaldo's back. We're going to the World Series. It's not happening, right? You could say, maybe you could make that argument with a guy like Garrett Cole, yeah. But people be thinking like, oh, because Oswaldo was hurt, that's what killed the Yankees. Like, we were never going to make it after that. I'm like, what? You know? Makes no sense. And I love Waldo. I do, but he's not a guy that is like, oh, as soon as you get him on your team, you're instantly that much better. Instantly that much better. No, he's a good bench player, but what I'm saying is that a lot of fans made it seem like when they say, oh, well, when they be like, oh, the roster's different this year, right? Obviously, when you say, oh, we're gonna get Garrett Cole back, and it's like, okay, yeah, that's a significant improvement. When you say, oh, we're gonna have Waldo back, that's not a significant to me. That's like, okay, that's good. We like Waldo. Waldo might not even make it to make the roster, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think he should though, but he's not a guy that as soon as you add him on the team, it makes a big difference. It really isn't. Look, let's keep it real. Like, you gotta those are the facts, man. He's a good player, decent utility guy. He plays a lot of positions, but he ain't gonna move the needle that much for the Yankees, right? Stephen B, man, please, dude. So you're saying that Oswaldo got hurt, and then that's why the Yankees. That's why they weren't the same, man. Look, that's not the reason, man. They just played bad. All right. It wasn't because Oswaldo. Of course, that hurt the team a little bit because at the time, he was the guy that was going to fill in that third base spot. But wait, what you think? All right. So let me ask you, you think Oswaldo was going to go out there and really make a huge difference at third base? I think he would have did better than Yorbe Vivas and what's his name? And Peraza, but it wasn't going to be that much different, man. He's not an everyday player. Yeah, raw, that's why, I'm sorry, Stephen B, but bro, you tripping, man. Like, you need you off your rocker, man. If you think that the Yankees lost last year because Oswaldo Cabrera wasn't on the team, you think that he's that significant to this roster. If that was the case, the Yankees will have him make sure that he's there this year. They're not. They're gonna make him start at AAA. He might not even be on this roster to start, Walker says Volpe's committing 20 errors again. We're getting back. Oh. I appreciate you, Rara, man. Thank you. Rara with the super chat. Thanks, man. Overvaluing. And here's the thing, man. I love Waldo, man. Oswaldo, he has a purpose. Don't get me wrong. So I don't want people to misconstrue that. Like, he's a good utility and he fills a lot of holes for the Yankees because he could play everywhere. And he is a decent player, right? He would have been better than what we were platooning at third base last year, for sure. But all because he got hurt. That's not why the Yankee season went downhill, right? It's not because of that, right? He's a good player, but he's not. It's not like, bro. It's like, yo, so My thing, I laugh because people were like, yo, what do you mean we're running it back? And I'm like, it's kind of the same team when you think about it. Obviously, it's not exactly the same, but, and they're like, bro, we getting Waldo back. And I'm like, okay. Like, really? You think if Oswaldo was on the team, we'd be in the Blue Jays? It ain't happening, bro. That's the way I see it anyway. Like, he's a good player, but it wasn't going to move the needle much. But I'll be happy to see him back, though. Fans getting too attached with the performance last year. He's a good, yep. Jason says every year we suck for about 2 months. Yeah, without Cabrera. I think Cabrera would have been an average third baseman and would make a trade, and we wouldn't make a trade for McMahon. They could have done different things at the deadline. He's a Swiss Army knife for the team. No, don't get me wrong. He helps the team, but you made it seem like he's the reason why this team didn't make it past the Blue Jays in the ALDS. And that's not why, right? Oswaldo Cabrera, and I love him. I'm going to say this one last time, and I'm going to move on. I love Waldo, but him being hurt was not the reason the Yankees didn't make it to the World Series last year, all right? He's not even the fifth reason they didn't make it to the World Series, right? So that's what I'm saying. Can he be an average third baseman? Sure, right? And I don't even think that, but yeah, man. Is he better than McMahon? No. I don't care what you say. He's not better than McMahon. He's not. His glove ain't better than McMahon's. His bat ain't better than McMahon's. And that's saying a lot because McMahon, he doesn't have the greatest offense, right? So I take McMahon over Oswaldo any day at third base. And I love Waldo. Yeah. Jason says, what do you think about Grisham coming back? I wasn't a big fan of it. I wasn't a big fan because of I wasn't a big fan of Grisham coming back for $22 million. All right. If it was less than that, I think nobody would have agreed. I mean, nobody would have disagreed, right? Right now, it's not registering anything, Stephen B. I got to fix it, man. Anyway, what was I? My bad. Yeah, I don't have the thing is not working right now, Stephen B. But I could pull it up probably over here. Let me put it. You want to see Oswaldo Cabrera's stats? The point is, man, slow down, Stephen B. I get it, right? He's a decent player. He's good. He helps the team, but he's not. If you add Oswaldo Cabrera there, right? Let's say he never got hurt, we still lose. Right? So I don't understand why it's so hard. You just want to be right, bro. And I mean, I think most people would agree that, him being down is not the reason why the Yankees didn't make it to the World Series. Why does $22 million matter? Because if they would have signed him for $5 million, you would have been good, right? If they would have given him $10 million, I don't think anybody bats an eye like, oh yeah, they brought Grisham back. He did hit 37 home runs. Don't get me wrong, he batted terribly in the postseason. But for $22 million, that's where it gets a little like, damn. And it blocked, blocked the roster spot. Look, I'm not saying I hope Grisham could repeat it. Right? I don't think so, but I hope so. But you got to admit, right? 37 home runs for a $5 million player is that's a steal, right? And even, if they would have gave him $10 million instead, and he comes back and he hits 25 home runs, that's a steal. That's still a great steal. But at $22 million, it's like, man, that's where it's like, man, this is You know, we overpaid for it. We overpaid for it. I'm not. Walker said they wouldn't. I never said they was gonna use Grisham's money on anyone. I never said that, right? I didn't say that. The same thing with Soto, or because that money they didn't give they when Soto walked wasn't like that's not how it works, right? I just see it as a whole, right? It doesn't matter if they were gonna give it to somebody else or not. I don't think he's worth 22 million. All right. That's the whole bottom line. I don't think Trent Grisham is worth $22 million a year. I don't think that, right? The same way I don't think Cody Bellinger is worth $42 million this year. But either, I would have not gave him the qualifying offer, right? If I was the GM, I would have not gave Grisham the qualifying offer. I would have tried to re-sign him though, but not for 22 million. I would have tried to give him like a 2-year, $20 million deal, something like that. That's what I would have done. Freed got paid after Soto. No, of course, yeah, they were gonna spend, but it's not like they gave Freed $865 million, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, don't get me wrong. After Soto, the Yankees are gonna sign players. Well, not this year, even though we got Cody Bellinger. They're gonna go make moves, right? But what I'm saying is when Soto walked, everybody expected the Yankees to spend $865 million because we offered them that. So it was like, okay, you offered them that means you have that money. And that's not how it works, That's what I'm saying. That's not how it works. They went and got Freed, yeah. That was a great pickup. And they went in and signed Paul Goldschmidt and traded for Cody Bellinger and everything and started making moves, but they didn't spend $865 million. They don't have to do that. That was just for Soto. The same thing if the Yankees would not gave Trent Grisham the qualifying offer, it's not like they were going to go spend $22 million elsewhere. It just means there would have been $22 million more in the budget. Doesn't mean you have to spend the budget, right? You get a budget, right? Let's say Cashman gets a budget. Hal says, I'm going to give you $300 million. This is your budget. It doesn't mean he got to spend the budget. Obviously, you want to spend it, but doesn't mean you have to. And if he says a lot of players are overplayed, the market is insane. Yeah, you're right. Especially pitchers. But I think that my thing with Grisham, man, is just that he had one good season and then nothing before that. Like, I don't see why the Yankees expect him to produce that again or think that he's capable of producing that again. It's tough, man. I don't know, but they like him. They like what they see there. So I think that he's going to be good. I think he's going to be decent, but he ain't going to be what he did last year. And I don't think he should be leadoff. Yeah, that's where look, at the end of the day, guys, we can all bitch and complain about who they signed, who they didn't sign. It doesn't matter, right? This is what we got, right? This is what we got. I learned that, look, when I was in the Army, right? And I was like a platoon sergeant, right? I'm in charge of a platoon. It's not like I don't choose who I get. The Army gives me soldiers, right? To be in charge of. And I got to make it work. I got to make it work with who I got, right? It's not like I can go and get the best of the best and I want. No, this is who I got. For a whole bunch of people from random places around the country, and we got a job to do. And some people are better than others at certain things, and we got to figure it out. That's what it's about. That's why you have a manager and all that stuff. I mean, it is what it is. This is the team we rolling out there, man. I'm a fan, so I'm a root for my team. Whether I agree that certain people should be on the team or not, whether, there's certain people on this team right now that I think they suck, right? I don't like, but I'm going to cheer for them because at the end of the day, man, they wear that interlocking NY, and to me, that's what it's about, right? I'm not a big fan of Aaron Boone, but I hope he has the best season managing he's ever had, because that means that my team is going to do better. Stephen B says he thinks Grisham is going to have a long leash. Yeah, he is, man. He's got to, because he's getting paid $22 million, man. That's what I'm saying. In order for Dominguez or Spencer Jones to take Grisham's spot, Grisham got to get hurt, or literally just, it got to be August and he's batting 100, for them to put somebody in his spot. That's what's got to happen. Let me change this here. I am trying to fix. I'm so mad that I'm trying to fix my stuff here, but I can't. I'm gonna have to do it later. That dude is getting robbed. Who's getting robbed? This dude said, yeah, Aaron Judge is way underpriced. Bryce Harper spoke on that one time. I forgot it. I can't. I'm gonna paraphrase. I don't remember exactly what it was. He was like, "There's no reason the best play." That's why I like Bryce Harper a lot. Is that the best play in the game is only making what he's making, right? It's crazy that Cody Bellinger is gonna make more this year than Aaron Judge. And you know what, man? I'm gonna tell you this. Aaron Judge took, he left money on the table coming back to the Yankees. So you gotta respect. I get a lot of people like, oh well, I don't care. He never won a ring. He don't have a ring. Man, him not having a ring is a little bit his fault because he didn't perform in certain postseasons. But it's also the team that he got around him too. But yeah, $40 million for Judge is that's a steal, man. If Judge was a free agent right now, he'd get $1 billion. Right? Well, his age, right? If when Judge was a free agent, right? If it would have been in the way the market is today, he'd probably get almost $1 billion or $1 billion around there. Grisham will not get a long leash if he's doing bad. $22 million 1 year is not a lot, especially if Dominguez or Jones starts raking. I understand $22 million for 1 year. It's not a lot, but knowing how the Yankees operate, they don't eat money easily, right? They're not going to pay. They don't like being wrong, Welkin. Like, even if you're right, and I agree with you, he shouldn't, but the Yankees don't like being wrong. So they're going to give him every opportunity to fix it. So I disagree. I think he will have a long leash. He will have a long leash. I think Jones is going to be a bust in the majors. His K rate is Joey Gallo levels in the minors. You think he's going to be a bust in the majors? Damn, he haven't even played in the majors at all. I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, today's a good test because he's facing a seasoned veteran in Jose Barrios. So let's see what he does against somebody like that. I don't think he will be a bust. I can't say he'd be a bust or not. I think that the K rate, right? And hopefully he's fixed it, right? The season hasn't even started, right? But if he continues to have a whiff rate like that, then yeah, he's not going to be successful in the big leagues. But hopefully this year he shows that he fixed it, he improved. So I wouldn't say that, man. These guys are, man, he's still young, man. Sometimes I feel like people give even certain people that, they suck, they're not gonna be like, dude, what do we even know, bro? He hasn't even he hasn't taken a big league at bat yet. To say he's a bust is one thing. To say he's not ready, if you say he's not ready, okay, that's one thing. But to say he's gonna be a bust is crazy to me. Ned says, I agree. You have Spencer Jones and you give Grisham. It's ridiculous overpaid for a career year. The thing is, man, look, the Yankees always tell you how they feel about somebody without telling you, right? Obviously, what comes out their mouth, what's coming out their mouth is one thing, but what they do is another thing. So I think the Yankees, they weren't that high on Spencer Jones. I mean, or they didn't think they were ready, right? So that's why they went and got Grisham back. Just in case, too, they didn't get Cody Bellinger back. Lou says he wouldn't get Ohtani money. I disagree, man. I think Aaron Judge, right? If the thing is that he's older now, but let's say when he was a free agent, how old is he? Like 28, something like that. If Aaron Judge entered his free agency, right? If he turned 28 and he was a free agent this year, he'd get more. Look, Juan Soto got more than Ohtani. I think he would get if maybe not more, because when you think about it, like Ohtani's number is 700 million, but in reality it's really like 460 million because there's a thing called inflation, right? And they deferred his money to later. So by the time he gets his money in the future, to Ohtani, inflation would have eroded the purchasing power of a dollar. It gets real complex, right? But that's how inflation works. If I put $100 in my mattress today and come back 10 years from now and pull out the $100, yeah, I have $100, but guess what? I can't buy nearly as much things as I could have 10 years ago with that $100, right? The same way you ever noticed, like when you was a kid, a bag of chips was $1 and now it's freaking $3, right? That's how inflation works. So Ohtani's getting 700 million, but in reality, he got 400 million. You know, that's how much it's going to be worth by the time he gets his money. There's still a lot of money, right? Juan Soto, on the other hand, Juan Soto got his 860 and 65 or whatever it was, and he got most of it right now. Same thing with like a guy like Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He signed for what, 500 million or something, and he got a huge signing bonus because he's like, no, I want my money now. Because the same way, right? The same way, it's inflation, man. It's just, that's economics, man. Or that's just how it is. Inflation. You got to account for inflation, guys. Money, right? Let me see. Do I have any money on me? Let me see. I'm just a little less. And I'm not going to say I'm a financial expert or anything like that, so don't listen to me. But this right here, this is a depreciating asset. This thing depreciates. The longer you keep this, it's like a car, right? Or most cars, right? You have your car, you notice how the value goes down the longer you have it. The longer you keep this in your pocket, the less valuable it is. So take that for what it's worth. Sounds crazy, right? But that's just how it works, man. Oh, man, it's driving me crazy. Okay. Oh, I'm going to restart this thing and hopefully it works. Let's see this. If not, I got to just figure it out later. Ooh. But yeah, so correctness, they will put out the $22 million scrub because they want their money's worth. No, yeah, and it's just the way it is, man. And I'm not gonna, at some point, if Trent Grisham is really that bad, right, and he's not performing, and somebody else could do better, at some point they will make that move, right? But it's gonna be, they're gonna give him every opportunity to fix it. Every opportunity. Yeah, but even gold, Stephen B, gold goes up and down too. But yeah, gold, that's why they call it, that's God's money. That's why they call it God's money. Like, that's always going to have value. gold. But don't get it twisted, right? You could buy a gold chain today, right? And the value of gold today could be one thing and tomorrow could be less. But over time, it usually, right, peaks and valleys usually going up. Because it's an actual freaking physical asset. This is really, when you think about it, it's paper, you know? But anyway, that's a whole nother thing. Let me see if this thing is working here. Let me try this real quick. Okay, it's working. So we're going to try this one more time, guys. We're going to do the this or that. 39 of y'all in here. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Hit that subscribe. What time is it? 9:08 where I'm at. Jason said, no, don't get me twisted, man. I need my money. This is all I got, so I'm broke, bro. I got $10. I got $10. I'm gonna stretch that out. Yeah, it's working now. All right. Let's go to this or that. And then we'll wrap it up. What am I doing, man? I'm all over the place today. I don't know. My apologies. Usually I have things better organized. All right. This or that. Right? Let's go. Try this again. Is Spencer Jones MLB ready? Type 1 in the chat for yes, 2 in the chat for no. Give this one more time. I think he is, man. I think he is. Is it would like if he made the roster, would he go off and hit 40 bombs and do it? Probably not, right? But I think he's ready. He's ready for a shot, in my opinion. He's ready. You know, he's ready for the chance. At least to get come up and get a cup of coffee. Just let him make his MLB debut to say he did it, right? That's what I say. He's done enough, man. Like, we've called up people less. Duke Ellis made his MLB debut 2 years ago, right? Duke Ellis. Nothing wrong against him because he's all right, but come on, let's get him a couple at bats up here at least. Get him a cup of coffee, a little espresso over here in the big leagues. All right, next one. This or that. You can only trade for one at the 2026 deadline. Who you trading for? Fernando Tatis Jr. or Tarek Skubal? Obviously, Tatis's contract is favorable because Tarek Skubal will be a rental. But who you think gives you the best chance of winning in 2026 between the two? I don't know, man. I think if you add a guy like Skubal to the rotation, you're instantly. The rotation's already good, but you add Tarek Skubal, you're instantly favorites to make it to the World Series at least. I'm gonna go with Skubal, even though that's a rental, guys. Remember, Tatis got like 10 more years, so. All right, everybody went with Skubal. Okay, next one. Who deserves to have their number retired more? CC Sabathia or Alex Rodriguez? This is kind of divisive, some of these questions, so my apologies, but I don't know. I was listening to some things on WFAN, and so it just had me thinking, who deserves to have their number retired more? A-Rod or CC Sabathia? Type 1 in the chat for CC, 2 for A-Rod. Damn, it's tough, man. I'm gonna go with CC. I think A-Rod, the numbers, obviously, but A-Rod played dirty. I love A-Rod too. He was dirty. He also sued the Yankees. I'm gonna go with CC. I think A-Rod deserves it too. I mean, if it was just based on performance, A-Rod, right? But I think CC, man, he was he was what the Yankees supposed to be, in my opinion. So it was tied. Wow, 2-2. So we'll come back to that later when we got more people in the chat. tied. All right. This or that. There's only one roster spot left. Who are you giving the last spot to? I put pot to. Who are you giving the last spot to? A, 1, Carlos Lagrange. 2, Elmer Rodriguez Cruz. Again, you type it in the chat to lock in your vote. I'm giving it to Lagrange. Me and I changed my mind because I think Elmer Rodriguez is probably more seasoned, more ready. But I think Carlos Lagrange could fit this roster immediately. I mean, they both could, but I think out of the bullpen, just immediately he can do damage, right? There could be a spot for him immediately. 102, guys, 5 seconds left. That's all right. I'm gonna have to bring this one back too because it's 50-50. 50-50. All right. Is that the last one? All right. Bottom of the ninth, bases loaded, 2 outs. Who are you sending up to the plate? Aaron Judge or Juan Soto? It's a tough one, right? I don't know, considering what I've seen Soto do. Let's go with Soto. Oh, it's not locking in all the votes as it should, man. Damn, people going with Soto. Bottom of the ninth, bases loaded, 2 outs. Who are you sending up to the plate? 1 for Aaron Judge, 2 for Juan Soto. Right now, Juan Soto got 67% of the vote. And yeah, I picked Soto, man. And I'm a huge Judge fan, obviously. And I'm a Yankees fan. And Juan Soto broke our hearts. But you got to admit, man, the dude was super clutch. And he's Judge. I think I don't agree with what everybody says the Judge is not clutch. I think he is clutch, but he's definitely not on. Right now, he ain't on a Juan Soto's level of clutch. That's just my opinion. Is that the last one? Yeah, that was the last one. Let's put this away. Let us put this away. Get back to the chat. Katie, what's up, Katie? Rara says, Soto is that clutch guy. He is, man. Soto's, when he hit that home run versus the Guardians, I was like, man. Definitely clutch. And it says, remember Verdugo in the playoffs? I'm trying not to remember. And they had Grisham on the bench, but they stuck with a guy hitting 100. Not only did they have Grisham in the bench, they had Dominguez on the bench too. They could have used Dominguez. They do that all the time, man. That's what I'm saying. They brung Verdugo here, so they were going to give him every opportunity. And the same thing's going to happen this year. The Yankees are always a day late and $1 short. They act like the fan base, right? Like us fans, that we don't know anything. And for the most part, these guys are the experts, right? But we're not so naive and they have too much ego and too much pride that they can't ever be wrong. They did it with IKF. They did it with Aaron Hicks, with Joey Gallo. All these moves that didn't work out, that were clearly not going to work out. And they pushed it down our throats. They just kept shoving these guys out there. And then they get to the point where it's like, okay, they give up, and they'll spin it somewhere. It's like, it ain't working out. It happens all the time, man. All the time with this team. But we're this stupid fan base. That's how they make it seem like we don't know what we're talking about. If you listen to Michael K, and I love Michael, I grew up listening to Michael K, but lately I don't know what the hell I don't know what he has against the fans. And I don't know what pedestal these people think they are on. Even Joe Sherman. And I used to love Joe Sherman, even him, another guy. I don't know what pedestal these people think they're on. That makes them feel like they're better than they know more, or they can never be wrong. That's the thing that gets me mad. It's like, okay, obviously, you know more than a guy like me or whatever. But you can be wrong too, just like everybody else. And they've been wrong a lot lately. That's all I'm saying. I be wrong a lot too. But the difference is that I can admit I'm wrong. Like I try to be humble. It's like, okay, that was a bad one, right? It was a bad take. These dudes, man, They can't. And that's what the Yankees are. And guys like Cashman and people like that, man. I don't know. I didn't see the Scott Boras interview about how Welker says, I dislike Michael Kay outside of announcing home runs. Girardi's way better. I like Michael Kay, but lately I don't know what it is. I don't know why he hates us so much. That's what I feel like. Why does he hate the fans so much? Even the Yankees too. And even why do these people hate the fans so much? You know? Like because we want our team to win. Because we want to get, the best free agent. Because that's what fans are supposed to do. And I get it. We like sometimes we're not realistic and everything, but to me personally, look, the last 8 years, the fan base has been more right than even the front office has been. Because we've been calling shit out from the beginning. Even remember, and I keep using IKF as an example because that's the first one that pops up to my mind. When he was at shortstop, and we like, yo, bro, this guy's not a shortstop, right? We kept saying it. He's not. Why are you trying to? And then he's like, what are you talking about? By our metrics, he's top 3 shortstops in the league. And we're like, what? And then eventually they put their foot in their mouth every time. Then when the ALCS came around, guess who wasn't starting that short no more? After they had him all season long there. And then they end up putting him at center field. That's a whole nother story. It's just, even with Aaron Hicks, it's just so many players, so many things that we're like, what are you doing? Even when they had Torres out there short, we're like, what are you doing? Like, no, it's fine. What do you mean? Like, we know more than you. What's wrong with the fan base? That's what they say. And when are you going to cry? You're going to cry that this team was not good? This team won 94 wins. 94 wins last year. I'm like, yeah, but they got fucking embarrassed. They won 94 wins, right? And you're trying to say they're just as good as the Blue Jays? How? Like, have you been watching baseball? I get it. They were tied with the Blue Jays in terms of winning over a course of 162. But to say that they were just as good as the Blue Jays is crazy. They were not. We got smashed by them, guys. So what makes you think that, if you're measuring your success, on the wins, and I understand that's why, but that's one piece of the puzzle, I don't care if we could have won 130 games last year. We weren't going to beat the Blue Jays, right? Like, that's the whole point. I know that's a little rant right there, and I love them guys. I don't want to talk too negative about some of these media heads, man, but lately, man, I don't know. And man, I'm just going. There's another guy too. For the New York Post, I forgot. I think he was like an ex-football player, the black dude, whatever he be. This dude's another dude that he hates Yankee fans, bro. I wish I could like talk to the dude one day so I could be like, yo, my man, bro, why you hate Yankee fans so much, bro? Like, did somebody do something to you or something like that? Like, the hell you talking about? They always say, well, here we go. The Yankee fans are going to cry. Well, what are you going to do? Bro, shut up. Roy, what's up, Roy? Katie says, I don't agree. Welcome. Michael Kay does an amazing job with the play-by-play. Oh, he's the best to me, man. One of the best. Don't get me wrong. Like, I grew up listening to Michael Kay, man, and he's some of my greatest moments as a Yankee fan. He's doing the play-by-play of, right? Some of my greatest memories. And I always listen to him. I've been listening to him for years and everything. I'm just saying that lately, I don't know what it is. Lately, he has this anger towards the fan base, man, for some reason. That's how it seems to me. I don't know if it's just an insecurity thing or what it is. I don't know. And he's not the only one, though. There's a bunch of these dudes like that. And the Yankees, too. The Yankees have don't get me wrong, the Yankees, they want you to come spend the money, but they don't like when fans have opinions on players and stuff like that. They've, I don't know. It is what it is. You be a fan, man. We a lot like, if I want to boo a player, I'm a fucking boo a player. I don't care what anybody says. If you suck, you suck. I'm telling you suck. That's my way of telling you, yo, you do better. Do better. And if you do good, I'm going to cheer for you. And that's how New Yorkers are, man. We're not about the bullshit. Good morning, Luis Duran, man. Luis Duran. Let me see. I'm trying to catch up to the chat, man. And I'm gonna get off here soon. Michael K is cool when he does play by play, but sometimes he thinks he knows more baseball than everybody else. I tell you what, man, look, I'm not gonna he knows more baseball than me. How can you not, bro? He's this is literally what he does, you know? But that doesn't mean he's always right. And that's where the problem is, that when he's wrong, he can't admit if he's wrong, you know? And sometimes people like that, this is what I say with Joe Sherman too lately. Sometimes these guys who've been doing this forever, they can't fathom the idea that some guy in his house or a fan, like some random fan, was right about something they weren't, you know? Because to them, it's like, this is what I do. That's their job, right? It's like you go to your job and somebody, let's say, I don't know, let's say you're a carpenter, right? And you're doing a job, you're doing something, and somebody's like, yo, you're doing that wrong, right? Somebody who's random, like your customer, right? Let's say your customer's like, you're wrong. Like, that's not where the nail goes. And they be like, what are you talking about? I'm the carpenter. That's how they say it. They're like, what are you talking about? Who are you? I'm the journalist, right? I'm the one with access. You're just some guy in your house. That doesn't mean that guy in his house is wrong, or that gal in her house, or that fan in the stands, or that kid in the, you know, on the Little League baseball field is wrong, you know? I don't know. It's one of those things, I guess, man. One of those things. Roy says, Yankee fans, I think, are the most hated along with the team. Yeah, we are, man. But it sucks, though, because your own team hates you, though. That's what it's like, damn, dude. Your own team, you know? Oh, yeah, of course, man. Look, nobody, the minute you feel like you're the smartest guy in the room, get out the room. If you feel like and there's always a person that think they know more than everybody. It's the ones that really, they don't know shit. You know, I'm not saying that's the case with any of these guys, because I do think that they know a lot, man, right? And they're knowledgeable. But bro, nobody's perfect, man. Nobody's perfect. That's all I'm saying. Even Derek Jeter said it, man. The Yankee fans, he was like, New York fans are the smartest fans. They pay attention to everything. And we do. We pay attention to everything. I have a good feeling about this year. Yankees are going to be good. I mean, we're good every year for the most part. Are we good enough? That's the question. Are we good enough? That's where are we good enough to really make it to the World Series? I think we need more, man. I think we need more. But the good thing is that we have like a whole half a season for the most part to the trade deadline, or a little bit more than half a season, like 60% of a season, to make the acquisitions, to get better, to get good enough, right? To make it all the way. And somebody made me, I'm already old. You don't got to put the old man face on me. I'm already old. Stephen B. Hit lotto this year, heroic. I don't think I think it's better. It's better odds than that. It's not a lottery thing. If the Yankees, I don't think the Yankees making it to World Series is like a, you know, it's like hitting the lotto. I think we're good, man. But it's hard to say that we can beat a team like the Blue Jays, or even the Mariners for that part, in a series, after seeing what those two teams did and what we did against them, you know, well, against the Blue Jays really, but it's just tough. Yeah, Boone went off. He went off on a report about IKF too. Look, and I understand that these guys, but I don't know. Sometimes, bro, you could be wrong, man. Like, it's okay to be wrong, man. I'm wrong all the time. So It just happens. But that's why, because I'm wrong all the time, where is it? That's why I created receipts. All right. This is receipt. If you make a bold claim, I lock it in the database and we come back and visit. So this is Wilkins because he's always hating on Jazz. Who else we got? Slow burners receipts. He says the Blue Jays going to win 97 wins. Where's mine? And I did this so when it comes back, like later on, I want people changing their energy, right? If you're wrong, you're wrong. You can admit you're wrong. And we're going to find out you're wrong. Like me, this was my receipt, right? On December 20th, I said Ryan McMahon will have a good season in 2026. Right? I put that in the chat. I put it out there. So here it is, right? If he doesn't, I'm going to say, look, that was cap, right? I was wrong. I also said Jake Bird will make the roster out of spring training. If I'm wrong about that, then I'm wrong about that too. Who's throwing trash, man? Stephen B. Since you're spamming it, I just blocked you from putting any more commands. You're gonna time out for 5 minutes. I think some players are going to break out when we are not expecting it. I mean, by like who though, specifically? I mean, look, here's the thing. During the course of a season, you have, I'm sure that everybody's going to have their streaks. Some people are going to be hot while others are not. It's going to happen. And hopefully it happens enough to where, we make it to the playoffs. But the problem is, come playoff time, we don't have enough people catching fire. Come playoff time, and it seems like it's every year, come playoff time, this team the offense just literally goes to fucking sleep, man. It's because everybody's trying to hit a home run. Every year is the same thing. We get to the playoffs and the offense doesn't show up. So this year was a little both, pitching and offense, but the offense definitely didn't show up this postseason. Let's see how many likes I got here. Make sure y'all hit that like button too, if you haven't already. And subscribe if you're not subscribed. My goodness. Where am I? All right, 39 likes. We got like what, 40 people in here? 45 people? Let's run the likes up. Run the likes up for your boy, man. My throat is killing me. And but I'm here though. So Bird developed the third pitch. He looks like he's making the roster. We'll see. Welker says, just need Rodon, Fried, and our reliever Fluke Weaver 200 ERA not to be bad. Yeah, man. I don't think, the thing is, I think the Blue Jays were going to hit any pitcher, man. That's how they were last year. They all caught fire at the same time. That's something the Yankees don't do. That's what I just said. Like, we get to the playoffs and everybody goes cold. The Blue Jays, I don't think there was any way the Yankees were going to be. Even if we add Garrett Cole to the rotation, I think they were going to beat us, man. They were that good last year. Especially the offense. They just put too much pressure on pitchers and made them throw a lot of pitches. It was just too much, man. That offense was just ambushing pitchers. Yeah, you know what, Rara? Bro, you on it right there, man. You nailed it. The problem is that the Yankees, man, when you look at the run differential and the best offense and all that stuff, if you go back versus teams under 500, oh, man, we crushed them, right? We don't beat them. We crush them. But versus the good teams, it's another story, And I agree with you there. Hopefully this year is different. I don't have the numbers here, right? But I could put it. I guess I'll look. No, I'm not gonna look for those numbers. But the Yankees in 2024, when we made the World Series, we had a way better record versus teams over 500 than we did last year. Last year, with teams over 500, I think we was only like 500, right? So we were even. Let me see. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not gonna look for that right now. It's too much. Combination of Jays were on fire and Yankees were cold. Yep, that's the worst combination. Our best bullpen guy last year made his Met debut. Oh yeah, if you didn't know, freaking what's his face? Devin Williams, first pitch as a Met, got taken deep for a home run. So he's not off to a good start. Again, though, I still think he's gonna be better than he was with the Yankees. But we'll see, right? We are going to see. Yep. Definitely. I think that. Let me see what I got it here. Anyway, I'm not gonna. Poor Devin Williams, man. He's already hated by one fan base. Man, if he doesn't perform with the Mets, oh man, the whole city's gonna hate him. The whole city. So yeah. I'm glad they didn't bring him back because he was kind of a dick too. No lie. All right, so here. I'm gonna play this right here. Hold on. And switch this over here. Where am I? Oh, let's go over here. All right. The baseball guys don't miss. This is Devin Williams' first pitch as a Met. Not good. Yeah. Wilkins says Devin has loser energy. Yeah, he has that energy like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to say the word here, but he be acting like a bitch a little bit, you know? And they try to clean it up though towards the end because he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna be a free agent. I need make money," you know. Could we have a command show Devin Williams giving home run? No, I mean we could, but I'm not gonna do that. Not right now anyway. That's too much work. And I don't like showing certain things, Stephen B, because bro, everything I show, like, it's a battle with. I get copyright claims all the time, man, for stupid stuff. I'm like, damn, you can't even show something on Twitter sometimes. So it's tough. So navigating that, but it is what it is. Anyway, folks, that's gonna do it for me. I hear my kids, they all up now, so I'm gonna get up and see what they want. And yeah, let's go Yankees. I appreciate y'all joining. I really do. And if you have it on your way out, please like the video if you can. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. And I'm gonna try to come back tonight. We're gonna do I want to do an open panel, right? But we'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna try to do it tonight, but I have some things I got to take care of today, and so I don't know what time I'm gonna be back home. But anyway, folks, that's gonna do it for me. I appreciate it. Have a great day. Love you guys always. Hold on. Where's my thing? Do I have that on? I do have it on. And I'll see you guys next time, man. Peace.
Sunrise, French bay, new fade, let go. Morning track with Jason C set the tone. Alarm hit, I'm up, no snooze, no slack. Lace tight, mic on head, we run that track. Coffee in the system, mind sharp, talk slick. Pre-game on the screen, I don't miss, I don't pick. Type stats in the chat, watch it pop up loud. Player card on screen, yeah, the numbers arrive. Just 20 tweets, say boom, instant replay. No guesswork, no rumors that the data say. Quick lap energy, but it tastes real out. Turn early hours into the main crowd. Quick hits, no fluff, we don't stall. Roll call, name drop, yeah, I got them all. One command, one tap, now the truth on tap. If you want the proof, just type it in the chat. Type it in the chat, type it in the chat. Yeah.